Hello and a very good morning. The weekend means the action's getting fast and furious in the Danish capital of Copenhagen. It's semi-final day, day 6 of the Yunlei BWF World Championships 2014. We're at the BWF Super Arena. I'm Richard Kaufman alongside Jim Laugerson. Well, how'd you like your colour medal? Do you want it bronze, silver or gold? Well, today we'll decide who is going to make the final of these 2014 World Championships. This morning's session, well, it will eke into the afternoon as well. Some cracking matches. First up is the women's doubles match. Tian, Qing and Zhao Yunlei up against Li and Shin. Then the Olympic champion Lee Xiaowei up against Minato Mitani. All Korean affair in the men's doubles. Wang Xiaoli and Ouyang up against Kikawa and Maeda. So many medals between those four players. And then bidding to reach his third successive men's singles World Championship final, Lee Chong-wei takes on the crowd favourite, Victor Axelsen. So, Jim, it's a mouth-watering prospect. We're looking here at how these pairs got through to the semi-finals of the men's doubles. Of course, Bo and Mogensen, more Danish hopes later on this evening. But the day as a whole, I mean, we're seeing here how they got there to the semi-final. The day as a whole, you know, this is a really terrific long day of semi-final badminton in the World Championships, isn't it?
Oh, it is. And it's going to be really, you know, I hope that we will follow up on that last match we had yesterday, the mixed double. You can just see there now, this is the time, this is where the best badminton is being played, so we have a lot to look forward to.
Well, 8 nationalities are going to win medals here. 7 for China, 4 for Korea, 3 for Denmark, 2 for Japan, and 1 each for India, Indonesia, Spain, and Malaysia. It's a lovely mix, isn't it, of the global game of badminton as the officials make their way out onto court for this opening match in the women's doubles. Really is snazzy how they've done it here in the BWF Super Arena. You can see the electronic board there showing you which players are about to come out on court. And that disappears up into the roof and keeps everyone abreast of what the scoreline is as well.
Gold medalist and current number 7 in the world,
Tian, Zhao Yunlei, the Olympic champions, the 2011 World Championship silver medalists. Cracking atmosphere already, and it's only just gone 10 o'clock in the morning. It's going to heat up as the day goes on.
And they're facing from Korea, the up-and-coming
Lee So-hee and Shin Seung-chan, 2 times World Junior champions, the first in history to repeat as a pair when they did it in 2011, 2012. They're young guns still. They're only 20 and 19 years of age, respectively. But here they are with a World Championship senior medal already under their belt. Now, can they progress to the final? Nice way to opening proceedings here. A real young talent, isn't it? These Korean pair up against a very experienced and medal-packed Chinese pair.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to cope with this. They are really up against an experienced pair, and
they're going to be really nervous as well.
Oh, of course, this is for them not normal, where on the other side they have a pair that's pretty used to being in these situations.
Although I get the feeling they prefer to be playing this pair maybe than Ouyang Wang Xiaoli, because they met them last year in the World Championships and they were humiliated. They lost 21-7, 21-3. They came as, you know, big build, the junior champions of the previous 2 years, but in Guangzhou, Ouyang and Wang Xiaoli just swept them off the court. That would have been a big learning experience, and maybe one that, as we look at the Chinese pair here, ranked 7 in the world, but we know they've been higher than that, and you can see their win-loss ratio this year. It's really good. But I think for the Korean pair, that although it was a humiliation, that loss will put them in good stead for what they face here.
Everybody goes through that at some point, so I think well, we have to learn for them, hope for them that they've learned from it. I'm pretty sure they have, but just look at these numbers here.
38 minutes as long as they've been on court.
It's been,
that was against Awanda and Harris, who beat the #1 pair here. Of course, 1, 2, and 3 in the women's doubles are already out.
And that just shows you that they're on good form.
16th as far as their seedings are concerned, 23rd in the world. Well, they've won the Asian Junior Championship, mentioned the World Junior. They're now, of course, World Championship bronze medalists. And so far this year, until this week, they've failed to get beyond the quarter-final stage. So this is their first semi-final of the year. And yesterday, they beat their compatriots, Zhang and Kim. But they knocked out the #3 seeds, didn't they, there in the last 16. Matsutomo and Takahashi, really big win for them. And they did it in convincing manner as well, 21-14, 21-15. But you have to say, in some respect, looking at the women's doubles draw at the start of the week, you have to say these two on the left of our screen here were the informed pair. They'd won their last 2 events. They won the Indonesian Open. They won the Australian Open. So no surprise really to see them in this stage in the semi-final. Susan Taylor and Eric Kurt. There's Susan. And our judges, umpire and service judge. Well, of course, they're going to be nervous. And the young girls, you would think particularly, although the pressure you feel is on Zhao and Tian, because the expectation is they win this. They have met once before, and that was in June, very recently at the Australian Open. And the Korean youngsters took the opening set then, 21-8. They lost the next 2, though. There it is.
Yunlei, China. And on my left, Korea.
But this is the World Championships. This is a different tournament. We've seen the whole week that you never really know what's coming. So this should be very interesting.
So the semi-finals at the 2014 World Championships are underway, starting with this women's doubles match.
Great defense by Tian. I think this is what the Korean pair has to be very, very aware of, is when they're in the attack. The Chinese defense is so good. They will move them from side to side, so they have to kind of find a way to get that front comp play into game. This is going to be a long, long match for them.
Yeah, you feel like they need a good start. I don't think they've only lost the first point. They don't want to let their opponents get ahead of them, because you feel that the Chinese pair are acute enough and experienced enough then to make the most of that. Oh. Right on the line. 2 points won so far. And both have been what you call perfect winners.
Yeah. But that's a smart smash she uses there. She goes a little bit higher than she normally goes, so she hits for the shoulder of Zhao. But that is a very difficult smash, because you normally see those smashes go out on the backcourt, but here it's perfect on the line. So that's what I'm saying about they need to have good variation on their smash and their attack from the backcourt. Well played by Zhao. And there her mixed double comes into play. She's a very good net player. It's a good read of where the shuttle is coming, so she's covering the net really, really well.
Yeah, she's in action later on tonight in the semis of the mixed doubles with Zhang Nan.
Oh, and the mishit there.
The mishits can be good, can't they, sometimes, especially when you're close to the net like that.
Definitely.
He was the player having to try and deal with it, but in the end she couldn't.
And again, a really good decision from Lee.
And now they're settled, aren't they? You know, they're into it. We're 6 points in now.
Definitely.
You know, the nerves disappear at this stage, don't they? You're just into match mode. Obviously, later on in the match, the stomach starts churning again. Jim, you've been there. Tell me.
Oh, you can, you know, when you're in these deciding points, it's just so, especially in doubles, because you start with that service situation and you don't want to give anything away. Both pairs, I think, looks quite comfortable already, and you can see they know each other. You can see that they know when to attack and when not to, and when to have patience. So we might be in for a long one here. Well played, smash by Lee. And we see it might look like she's just hitting hard, but she's hitting precise. There she goes for the channel attack. Before we saw she went high on it, on the shoulder, and so really good decisions in the attack. And of course the same from the Chinese pair head. Tian hitting towards Zhao at the net, who she knows is covering it real. Look at that, she's hitting to the side, to the forehand of Zhao, and she just moves out there before. Very, very good examples here about how doubles is played nowadays. Oh.
I have to admit, I didn't know that had gone over. One of those that smacked into the net and somehow had the momentum to go onto the right side as far as the Japanese players were concerned. I think she might have she's broken a string, or she just needs to yeah, she has to get a new racket. Service fault called, serve too high.
Yeah.
Shin, the player, penalised.
And that's, you know, that's debatable, I think, but
always are, aren't they?
Yeah. Because look, you know, if you had to call all the serves in double nowadays, you would have a tough job. You will have a lot of enemies as well. You have to call a lot of them. Oh, fantastic again. Really hitting well from the backcourt. Look how she hits to Zhao's backhand side. There we see out there, it's impossible for her to keep defending, and again up around, you know,
the shoulder.
The shoulder. So the Chinese pair can't really get comfortable in their defense.
Light edge now for the Chinese players, but it's been a very even start. I mean, look how close that was. Good call as well from the line judge.
Well played by Shin. And you can already see here in the start, there's two, you know, the Chinese pair is actually quite willing to give away the initiative and be in defense, where the Korean pair is really aggressive. Again, that's the same, you know, that's their favorite combination. Hitting down the line out to Zhao, to Zhao's forehand. Look, she's already moving that. She knows it's coming, and it's so difficult for, I don't know if it's Chen or Lee to kind of guide that shuttle to cross at the net. So also because Tian is hitting so hard. It's a big chance. The first real gap we've had.
But I think from the Korean perspective, I think they'll be pretty satisfied. I know they're trailing here and they may well go into the interval trailing, but I think they'll be satisfied in some respect because they're going toe-to-toe here.
They're in the game.
Yeah.
It's not like you don't feel that the Chinese have control of the game. And they're winning points. But at the same time, we can also see it's not going to be an easy task. And here we look how easy they get into that favorite position with Tian and then Zhao in the front, Tian in the back. Look. Oh, the patient game now. Fantastic.
Going right back from
fantastic rally
from Zhao in the end, but Lee certainly got some power behind a few of those hits from the back of the court, didn't she?
But they seem to. It looked like they've seen a weakness in Zhao there. They've been hitting to her,
targeting her almost.
Targeting her on her backhand side, and especially up by the shoulder and the elbow. And you can see as soon as they do that, the front, and that's mostly Shin. She comes forward and covers the net. So
it's a brave person that targets Zhao. I mean,
well,
only winning her 7th World Championship medal here.
It's a tough target.
In fact, 8 she's won now because she's got a guaranteed one in the mixed doubles as well.
Yeah.
She's already won a gold, 2 silvers and 2 bronzes before this year, as far as the World Championships are concerned. 2 more bronzes guaranteed. But, obviously, she'd like those colours to change.
That's what she can do. She knew that. And you can see she has now found out that they're going to hit at her. That is
the anticipation.
And that's why she has so many medals. Look at that. She knows.
In she goes now.
Look at that.
She's there.
She knows they're going to hit on her. This is fantastic. Look at that. And she's actually hitting a smash. And she still gets it and controls it.
11-9.
It looks like they're laughing now because we know it now.
Tian, Qing and Zhao Yunlei with the advantage at the break. Well, it's been a terrific start, hasn't it, to semi-final day. More and more people entering this BWF Super Arena as the minutes tick away. This is the first time this has been used as a badminton venue. It's normally a cycling track, believe it or not. You wouldn't know it looking at it. But it's been beautifully set up, hasn't it, for these World Championships?
Oh, it's been fantastic. There hasn't been many things as been complained about. The one thing only is actually the heat.
And right now it's not that hot.
It's not that hot now, so now it's perfect conditions. And I think we've seen that really, really good badminton because this, the drift in here there's no drift.
No, none at all.
So the players are able to control, and we can see the best in the players. They're coming out with some fantastic shots. I love the way that these two pairs are. Look how she reads that one. She knew it's going to come across. Yeah, again, the favorite position with Tian at the back and Zhao at the front, and look, they're actually standing on the same side of their court side, and you should think, well, I just have to play it, yeah, and I'm gonna play it, but you can't because she's hitting so precise.
And they do seem now to have just separated themselves a little bit. No, I mean, not the scoreline, there's only 3 points in it, but,
they're winning
in terms
points,
of the balance of play.
They're winning their points, they're finding ways to win their points. We don't have the long rallies right now. And that's a sign of they've found
the key to the door, haven't they?
And that's the first one we see. That's showing that Korean pair is aware of what the Chinese pair wants to do. Really working hard. And that is obvious that the Korean plan, the tactic will be when Zhao is on the backcourt, they'll keep her there. They do not want her to come forward. And you can see she's a little bit of a frustrating attitude there.
But it's interesting, when you've got a pair so young, there are tactics, but sometimes not so easy to put those tactics and be so aware on the court. And obviously these two are very talented and are able to do that.
Oh, it's a great return. Great return of serve. Well, I think the idea of working Zhao a little bit more on the backcourt is the right tactic, and I think a good thing could be them to use the flick serve a little bit more on her, you know, to make her start down there.
Yeah.
Because it seemed to be working. I see how quickly the Chinese pair moves around. They're not interested in Zhao at the back. And you just feel out the Chinese pairs pulling away. And you can say, we see the mistakes now. That you maybe can blame a little bit on the youth. Oh, what a shot. That was fantastic. Of course, they're expecting her to hit hard because she wants to come forward, and look at that. Just right at the end, takes the power off, used the drop shot.
Well, yeah, they've separated themselves now. Have Tian, Qing and Zhao Yunlei. You wouldn't expect them to let loose a 6-point lead with only 3 required for the opening game. Well left, though, by Shin. But it's a case here of a young pair that obviously have just got their first World Championship medal, that have obviously had the pressure of being the first women's doubles to win back-to-back World Junior titles. They've found it hard.
They'll have it again.
Yeah, what a time as well for that to happen.
And we have to understand this. This calls the service judge calling the serve is just like, you know, a referee in a football match, where you can have, well, that was a free kick. Why wasn't it called down there? And
or the shirt pulling in a penalty area.
Exactly. It's the same thing. It's human. What can you say? It's humans who are making the calls, and when it's that, it will be different.
Yeah, just a little word to Shin here for not being ready when Zhao wanted to serve.
I just think, from my experience,
what are you saying? The service judge shouldn't call it?
Oh, he should. But we need to understand that it's just, you know, what can you say? There's not that much a difference when she serves, you know. So
game points, by the way, 7 of them.
If it's a false, you know, if the serve is wrong, it will be wrong mostly all the time. So it's weird that it's only 2 calls in a full game. Oh, that's just my opinion. But
I suppose it's a question of degree, isn't it? But these are game points here for Zhao Yunlei and Tian Qing. They take it at the first time of asking. It was really tight, it was really close, and then in the latter third of that game, they just stretched away from 14-12 up. They ended up winning it 21 points to 13. And is that a sign of things to come in the second game as well? Because the momentum well and truly behind the Olympic champions here. Tian Qing and Zhao Yunlei, 1 game up. Well, obviously we're not able to know what Lee and Shin were told by their coach at the interval, but they started really well, I felt, and it was great to see young players in this World Championship semi-final for a first time come out and play their badminton. But the way Zhao, Yunlei and Tian are playing right now, just wonder whether they can keep up the level they did in that first 2/3 of the match. Just wide there from Zhao. Of course, the winner of this match faces either Yu Yang or Wang Xiali or Raiki Kikawa, Miyuka Maeda. I mean, let's say Tian and Zhao win this, get in the final. I suppose you'd fancy it being an all-Chinese affair, really, Jim?
Yeah, I think so. I would say that.
Of course, Tian, Zhao, Yunlei, Wu Yang, Wang Xiali have met each other a few times over the years.
Yeah, and we have to take into consideration, of course, Zhao here is going to have to play her mixed double as well, so...
Yeah, it didn't stop her winning a couple of gold medals at the Olympics. But obviously, that's just looking at the form book. Anything can happen, of course. Well, this is ominous, isn't it, right now, as far as Lee and Shin are concerned. For the first 5 points here at the start of the second game, going the way of the Chinese pair, who took 7 of the last 8 points in game number 1. Well, they needed a run of points, but didn't happen. Well, they've yet to drop a game so far. Tian, Zhao, Yunlei, Ponapa and Gutta. Straight games in the first round, then easy wins against Harris and Awanda. Yesterday, you have to say 21-12, 21-15, and this is impressive, isn't it, from a combination that won their previous 2 events as well, heading into these World Championships. A pair that's been together since 2010. In fact, they won their first event together, the Asian Championships. They won in 2010. Obviously, there's badminton still to play in this one, Jim, but it's over, isn't it now?
Oh, it's a tough question, isn't it? After
I know.
Tournament,
we've seen it before, but this is Tian, Qing, and Zhao Yunlei on court, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
These are no rookies, or
no, they have too much routine and
they're not youngsters. I mean, you know, we saw it with Ratchanok, if you like, you know, from this kind of position, lost, but you know, she's a teenager.
I think they're going to have a tough time coming back to this young Korean pair because Tian and Zhao are just too strong, and they can always find a way to get points. They have what makes, I think, and I've said that for a while now, what I think makes the Chinese ladies doubles better than most, all of the other countries, is that they have so many ways to win. You know, they can play the attacking game, they can play the defending game, they can play the long rally game, they can play the service situation game, they can do it all. So if one of the things are not working, they'll choose the other one. Well, you often see other pairs have, you know, a plan A, but they don't have a plan B.
Yeah, able to adapt to the situation as they were able to in the first game here. But a big learning experience for two young, talented doubles players from Korea. It's been a much better experience for them than it was a year ago in Guangzhou. And you get the feeling there'll be more medals to come for them. Yeah, the Olympics, they'll be nicely ready, won't they, for Rio? A couple of years older. Fantastic. She enjoyed that one, didn't she, Zhao Yunlei?
Look at that. That is a great smash by Shin. And it's actually she just used the power to counter it. And
that's just instinct, wasn't it?
Oh, it is. And also, look, the one thing that we can learn from this, from Zhao, is that she's not backing down. She's actually standing so far up on court in defense. Look, it's not that much, just there. Boom. Fantastic.
Yeah, in all respect, that should have been a winner the other way. Coming at your face like that, onto your shoulder, which is where they were trying to aim it.
Yeah, but she knows it now, and that's what I'm saying.
She's ready for it, yeah.
She knows it. So that's what I'm saying right now. Shin and Lee doesn't have a plan B. And they need a plan B to win this one, because this is not working. This was.
That helped. Monk from Tian.
Again, standing. Oh.
How many times do we see players leave it like that, and then that's the point over?
Well, this seems to be their plan B right now, the Koreans.
Rally?
Yeah, just try and rally. But they won't work. First of all, Zhao and Tian is very, very strong pair, so they won't just suddenly get tired, and they will get their chances. But then again, I like it, because if Shin and Lee just did what they were doing 2 seconds ago, they would lose. So at least they're trying something different. But in this case, it's for the viewers, it's not the best tactic.
Listen, I'm enjoying this rally.
As a former men's doubles player, I'm not enjoying this. Clear and clear and clear is not my type of game. But, well.
Wide in the end from Lee. But at least you were counting the number of shots there, Jim.
We were up to 120.
Okay. All thereabouts.
Nah, the thing is that I really, when I say that, I really enjoy the way that ladies doubles have, the experience they've gone through over the last couple of years, where we've seen the game there.
It's gone up another level, hasn't it?
It has. We saw jump smashes yesterday. I want to see more of that. They can do it. It gives that an extra dimension to ladies doubles. Well, what that rally we just saw there used to be what happened all the time. And
well, it was tied at the first interval, wasn't it? Not so at the second. Tian, Qing and Zhao, Yunlei. It would seem an unstoppable force right here. 11-4 already a game to the good.
That's well played. And they seem to go back to their old tactic by hitting Zhao up with that elbow, or shoulder, between the shoulder and the elbow, where it's really difficult for doubles players to defend. And especially defend to the back line, so they have to play flat where they Lee just can't afford to make a mistake like that if they don't make a comeback here. Great interception by Zhao. Look at that. Amazing how she reads the game. Luck with the tape there. Oof. Nothing really Lee and Shin can do about that. But it's also difficult for the two young players now that they probably have the same feeling that we sit with here, that this is going to be almost impossible. So now it's just to, really to enjoy and make the best of it. Enjoy being in the semi-finals of the World Championship.
Yeah, but you can't help feel deflated. I mean, they could be very proud, as you say, of where they've got to. But, I just felt in that first quarter of the match when they were very much equal to the opposition on the other side of the court. That, you know, you still have that. This could be, you know.
Yeah.
You know, this could be it. This could be our.
But it's
route to the
15-6
final
now in the second game. So this is, you know, But I think they had that feeling in the first game. I also think they have the feeling now that, well, next time we have to go on court against these two, we have to come up with something more than just one tactic. We have to be more disciplined and. It's fine.
Always going on from Tian. She's had a few of those. You have to say it's been not a perfect performance from Tian and Zhao, but they really have been able to influence the destiny of this match. Well played, Shin.
Well, this is, you know, you see they're playing a little bit more freely now. You see more variation in their shots. You know, it's 2 times now they've just blocked it instead. Shin, especially, instead of she's been hitting hard the whole match. Now she just blocks it down in front of the Chinese pair. And now that's working. Let's see if they can build on that. At least they can take that with them if they're to play them again.
And listen, this is no 21-7, 21-3, is it? Which is what they suffered when they exited the World Championships at an earlier stage last year.
Definitely not. Oh, what a smart play. Twice she used that cross and just blocked it. And she, you know, the good thing here is that she knows that Shin wants to come forward. So she's just blocking it nice and easy to the net. And as soon as she moves forward, she hits that clear. A very, very intelligent move by Tian.
Four more points is all they require, though, the Chinese pair hit.
Well played by Zhao. Difficult for Shin to really be effective at the net. She's first up there. Look at that. She moves forward again. Look at that. Already there she looks for it. And she plays that mid-court shot. Instead of playing it to the side, she plays the mid-court, which is difficult for Shin because she has to make angles. So. And that's clear again. It's so hard.
It's been very impressive, hasn't it, from the Olympic champions, the silver medalists of 3 years ago at Wembley Arena in London. Also got a bronze, we shouldn't forget, in Guangzhou a year ago too. And they're heading for at least a silver here, because they are heading into the women's doubles final in quick fashion. It's out. The
double digits
celebrations delayed momentarily.
But a very comfortable. Now we can always expect the unexpected, but let's assume that they win. This is a comfortable win for Tian and Zhao. Yeah.
There we go. 45 minutes. Very polished display. Tian, Qing and Zhao Yunlei looking very, very solid, aren't they? And they are into tomorrow's women's doubles final. Well, they could meet their compatriots Ouyang, Wang Xiaoli, of course. Reika Kiwan, Miyuki Maeda might have other ideas, but nothing the two-times world junior champions could do there. Lee So-hee and Shin Seung Chen started well enough. They looked ready for the battle, but in the end, class and experience told. 21-13, 21-10. So a confirmation, we have our first combination to play their way into the final of these World Championships. Tian and Zhao, with that win, as I say, will meet either Wang Wu or Kakiwa Maeda. And this is what's still to come. And you might wonder what's happening with that graphic in the middle match there. It's because there has been a walkover. We understand a neck injury for Kim Sa-rang. So Kim and Kim have conceded a walkover to Ko and Shin. So that means Ko and Shin are also in the final tomorrow. They will potentially meet either their compatriots, Lee and Yu, or maybe a Danish pair in Boa Mogensen. But there will be no match number 3. So after Lee Shuwei and Minatsu Mitani, we'll have the other women's doubles semi-final, Ouyang Wang up against Kakiwa Maeda, followed by that men's singles semi-final of Lee Chong-wei and Victor Axelsen. So let's concentrate on the women's singles semi-final here. You can see Lee Shuwei coming through against Saina Nehwal yesterday, Mitani in a thriller against Sung Ji-hyun, and Carolina Marin, PV Sindhu. Spain and India will have their first women's singles finalist. Don't know which country yet, one or the other. But great to see new nations, if you like, in the women's single final. 2 young guns as well. Atmosphere building up very nicely now, isn't it, in the Belarus Super Arena. Many of the fans will be unaware that that men's doubles match is off. Jim, obviously we want to concentrate on this women's singles clash, but quickly just a comment on that.
Of course, it's sad. It's 2, you know, pairs which I thought would have had a great match. You know, it's just sad that things like that, but that's sport. You know, it happens.
Yeah, neck injury.
Just like Jan Jørgensen had to pull out.
But here come the women's singles semi-finalists.